which is the most strict of the Christian.
More strict. Yeah. Because even like Pope Francis, I've heard him say all sorts of things that it's pretty progressive. Like he's not full on progressive, but he's like, when it comes to all sorts of different issues. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he accepted gay marriage.
Yeah, exactly. I think he did.
Yeah. Which is
it is kind of weird because you don't see that in Hinduism or Islam or any other stuff. I mean, I don't know how much of that is the religion or how much of that is just like the actual country it happens to be in.
Yeah.
But even like Muslims that like live in the West aren't particularly like into that, like imams and stuff. So it's almost like there's an aspect of Christianity because of like Jesus is like a very kind of sentimental figure. Like I died for your sins, I sacrificed. It's very sentimental. That sentimentality in Christianity does lay itself to being kind of almost like taken advantage of by cultural norms where like it'll just adapt to whatever culture it's in almost. So Christianity,
more or less.
More or less.
I hope it has an anchor somehow. That it's kind of floating around that anchor depending on where the wind blows.
Hopefully. Maybe so.
Yeah.
Because there was the Crusades, so you never know. You never know. I mean, there's stuff's happened. So.
What about the Crusade?
I don't know. I've heard something. I've heard about this thing that's happened.
It's interesting. The Crusades actually came up on topic my last podcast, so I don't know why, but it did.
Well, everything always goes back to the Crusades. every discussion ever eventually leads to the Crusades. But I don't know.
But you're not religious, are you?
Yeah, the thing for me is like I did grow up like in Hinduism, and then I kind of was pretty atheistic. And then I kind of like went towards Christianity, and then I kind of was more interested in Christianity. And then I think now I'm kind of in a bit of a unsure phase where I do.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite religion is probably Christianity, but I would say I'm probably an atheist. But the thing about it is that we're always in different parts of our lives. Like we're gonna live until whatever we're 80, 90 or whatever.
Yeah.
So like people change throughout their lives. You know what I mean? People become born again Christians. People, whatever. Like, people go through all sorts of phases in their lives. So at my current phase, I cannot say I'm religious in my current phase because I'm not. Like I'm probably.
You'd be lying.
Yeah, I'd be lying. You know what I mean? And I have heard people being like, I'm Christian. I'm like, have you read the Bible? Do you go to church? You know what I mean? Like people say Christian all the time. It doesn't mean anything. People wear crosses all the time. It doesn't mean anything.
Sure.
So I think there needs to be like a degree of honesty where you can only be a Christian if you're like genuine about it. Like I read the Bible and I go to church.
Yeah.
Same with other religions, Hinduism, Judaism, and Islam. If you're not that, I think it's kind of almost fraudulent to say you're religious because then you're just like a weird, like, I'm just saying a word that means I like to like hang out with people or something, but I'm not serious about it.
Sure, yeah.
I don't read the books.
You're getting access to the community, but you're not really committed.
You're not committed. And I think a big part of Christianity is being genuine and being committed and being honest because there's so much like disingenuousness in religion and people just say stuff. So
a lot of people are wearing a cross.
Yeah, exactly.
Like on Tinder a lot, and in dating apps, people like a lot of girls that I see wear like crosses either as earrings or necklaces or what have you, and then I tend to ask them like, does that actually mean something for you?
Yeah.
It's like no, it's just for style.
Yeah.
And I mean, I even have friends like, for example, one of my best friends here is from Portugal. I'm not gonna call him out, but like he doesn't go to church, and I don't know, he doesn't really read the Bible yet. He has like this cross that he's wearing, and that's not uncommon. A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
And I hear you. It's a little bit annoying because you're like, you're saying you are something and you aren't really.
Yeah, it is kind of go into like that broad concept of just virtue signaling. Like I'm signaling a virtue, but I'm not really being genuine about it. But it's true for everything. It's true for politics. It's true for religion, culture. Just like a general like virtue signaling, which is very common amongst millennials and Zoomers, where like you feel people are just being fake. Like whenever you talk to people, I just feel like they're not being honest. I feel like disingenuousness. I feel fakeness.
Yeah.
I feel like they're just trying to like virtue themselves in public, like signal their virtue.
Let's pick apart the meaning of the word virtue signaling because it's actually very interesting. Do you wanna give it?
Well, I would say like a general definition of virtue signaling is pretty much you aren't concerned. You're concerned with how you're perceived. You're not concerned with
like,
who you
let's
are.
start with the
You know what I mean?
word virtue.
Yeah, virtue just
It's
means
kind of a complex word, actually.
virtue means like positive kind of like
Attributes.
yeah, positive attributes.
Of character.
Yeah, yeah, positive character attributes.
Like being brave
yeah,
or being generous.
yeah,
Or
pretty
smart.
much positive things like brave, generous, kind, caring, helpful. Yeah, stuff. Even like intelligence and stuff. People were just like based on intelligence. Like people want to say they're smarter than they are. People want to say they're better looking than they are. People want to say they're nicer than they are. But then that's separate from like a genuine like a realness. Like what are you really? Like are you actually intelligent? Like, are you actually a good person? Like what do you actually do? Like do you actually like help people? Do you know what I mean? So I think virtue signaling is sort of like what we talked about virtue, and signaling means that you're kind of like releasing signals, releasing sort of almost stimuli to the outside environment. Because you want to be perceived well. It's not like you are actually virtuous. You want to be perceived as virtuous. And I think in the Bible,
so it's collecting cheap points.
Yeah, it's collecting kind of cheap points. So, for example, I think in the Bible, I don't know if it says it specifically, but essentially, you should be a good person quietly. In other words,
it does say that in the Bible.
Yeah, so you should. So anybody who helps someone, but they're recording themselves for their Instagram stories, that's a fake person. That's not someone that's being honest. They're doing it for fake points, for Instagram clout, or like fake like virtue signaling points. But somebody that helps people quietly and doesn't care if anybody sees them or cares about what they do, which is what I try to do. So what I do is that if I see a homeless person, I give them money, but I don't. I do it very matter of factly, and I don't care if anyone sees me. You know what I mean? It wouldn't even occur to me to record myself or to share it or to tell anybody about it.
Yeah.
But I think that's like a genuine like virtue. It's not like a fake like virtue signaling.
I mean, crazy as it is, you do have a lot of people on social media like actually recording themselves doing these things for homeless people, and
they do that a lot. Yeah, like I'm helping homeless. I've seen so many videos on Instagram, like Instagram stories of people kind of like doing it, and it's so fake, and I think it's very common in like the modern generation. It's almost like an epidemic of virtue signaling. I think people are just like super fake, and it's hard to find like real genuine kind of.
But you could say that like, oh, they aren't hurting anybody else, but by doing that they're just promoting themselves. But I would say they actually are hurting someone else, because they're hurting, like comparatively speaking, they're hurting the guy that isn't boasting, that isn't like exaggerating, because he looks comparatively worse,
Yeah, pretty much.
And they're collecting rewards on somebody else's behalf, actually.
You can say that. Yeah, they're in a sense hurting someone, but also to even make it more like biblical, you're actually hurting yourself. There's an element of what people don't understand is like when you do immoral things, it's not just like you're hurting other people. You're hurting like your soul. Like it's almost like it's like you're hurting yourself because.
I hope you enjoyed that clip of the HH podcast. If you want to see another clip, click here down to your left, and if you want to see the whole unedited episode, click down here to your right. And last but not least, if you want to subscribe, you can do so here in the middle. Thank you.